Well, welcome back, everyone, to South Sea Folk podcast that is looking at life around South Sea and the immensely rich and varied people that we have around this, with the businesses that are struggling and finding innovative ways of surviving in this pandemic. We're up in the 30s now, Lou, aren't we? So we've done quite a few.
Yeah, we have. It's been lovely. It's been great to
Yeah.
highlight things happening culturally around the city.
Mm.
And this week I did a really nice focus on Rose Clover.
That's right.
Uh,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, because she's got a lovely flower shop on Elm Grove. And I think she was one of the pioneers for Elm Grove, which really encouraged more businesses to actually move on to that little stretch.
Yeah.
And
And that was
obviously she's
brilliant
been
down there, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and she's been closed, but she's done these amazing window displays. That's really brightened up people's day. Putting these fab window displays up. So even if you can't go in the shop, you can walk past or
Yeah.
drive past and see it. So
No, it's
yeah,
brilliant. How's
what
your
have you
week been then?
yeah, sorry.
How's your week been?
Yeah, good. Yeah, so yeah, writing about Liz and
Mm.
just really busy. We've had some lovely sunshine, haven't we?
It's been nice. It's blowing a gale out there at the moment, and yeah, I'll have to go and check my greenhouse down my allotment, make sure it's not been blown over. The fun
Yeah.
of being an allotment owner, and also how are we doing with South Sea Folk Awards? How's that going?
Yeah, great. Yeah, amazing response. It's just lovely to keep sort of suggesting different categories
Mm.
because give people ideas of who they might think to vote for. So we've sorted out the venue and we've sorted out all the filming.
That's
So I had a great meeting with Mike, who's going to be the videographer. And he got his
yes,
drone. He's a drone expert. We had him on,
yes,
didn't we?
yeah, last week, yeah.
So we had this meeting and then he got this little drone and then he whizzed it up into the air
Mm.
and then you got to see a whole view of Southsea Common and then it came back. I just thought it was brilliant.
It's amazing, isn't
So
it? Amazing.
clever. Yeah.
And yeah, and today we've got Peter Hopkins from Island City Living. Welcome, Peter, to South Sea Folk.
Thank you, John. Thanks, Louise.
Yeah, lovely to have you on.
It is. So for people who don't know, who may be living under a rock and don't know about South Sea Living, or Island City Living and
Yeah.
what you're doing, just explain a little bit about yourself and also what you do.
Okay. Well, I run Island City Living and also About My Area Portsmouth. People may be more familiar with About My Area Portsmouth. That's been established in the city since 2005, so 15 years now. And we took over the running of that from the previous owner, Hayley Story, who I know lots of people know across the city. We took over in September. So really, we've launched into taking on a business probably at the worst time ever.
Yes.
But we were really excited by the prospect of taking on About My Area because it's very much a community-based service. You know, it provides news and information, events coverage for people across the city. It's free to access, and people can find out all sorts of information via the website. One of the things that really excited us was sort of growing that audience that Hayley had already built across social media and also across potentially an app. So that was really our thinking when we did take over. And therefore, we launched the Island City Living social media brand. So Island City Living is really sort of the sister or the partner of About My Area. But it's our output across social media rather than the website. So that's been sort of up and running since November. We launched that in November. So that's running across Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. And since we've launched, we've added another 2,500 followers, and that gives us now over 30,000 followers across the four platforms, four social media platforms. So it's great. You know, we've got the ability to communicate to lots of people through that, and through between 15 and 20,000 visitors to the website every week. So we know that we've got a big audience out there, and that's really exciting, you know, to be able to reach out to people and provide them with information. And we're really looking forward now to things getting back to normal, so we can get out there and start covering events and activities, and making it a bit more vibrant and a bit more busy and a bit more dynamic. Obviously, there's not been a great deal to report on over recent months. There's not been a lot going on in Portsmouth. So we're really excited about doing it properly and really starting to connect with people and report on the culture of the city and what's happening. I suppose similar to what you're doing, it's providing a platform for other people, and connecting other people.
Yeah.
It's about growing that digital community, I think.
Yeah.
Certainly through lockdown, we've all had to rely on digital a lot more, and we really want to build on that and connect as many people as we can across the city.
I don't know if you've seen about my area, John, but it's brilliant. I mean, I can't believe when you look at the website just how much information is actually on there. It's got traffic, weather, news, just so many things, isn't it? In a small, you wouldn't expect that much on a website. So I think it is a really good place for people to go to. So tell us about Island City Living. Tell us about the app then. So what you're going to be launching at the end of March, Peter?
Yeah, really exciting. We're sort of in the middle of sort of planning that and launching a big campaign to raise awareness and let as many people know about that. The app really, again, we wanted to sort of fulfill this aim of connecting as many people as possible across the city, whether that's residents, people who work here, our student population, the 9 million plus visitors that we get to the city every year. We wanted to really try and provide a one-stop shop for everything Portsmouth. What we've found since taking over about my area is there's so much good stuff going on within the city. Lots of really creative stuff, podcasts, blogs, markets, local traders, local creators, local artists. And it's not always easy to sort of find all of that information. You have to go to maybe 50 different sites to try and access all of that information. What we want to try and do is really sort of curate as much as we possibly can and have it under one umbrella, so that we can signpost people to South Sea Folk, or we can signpost people to the latest recycling and rubbish news from the council, whatever it might be. If people want to find that information, they know that they can have a look at the app and they can find a link to it or information on it. And more people now we find are accessing news and information via their mobile devices rather than maybe through websites. So we wanted to sort of enable as many people as possible to have access to the information that we push out, and free access to that. So that was the main sort of driving force. But we also have on the website a really comprehensive business directory. So the website is also a place for local businesses and traders and creators to say, look, this is what we're doing. Here's a link to our website. This is how you can get in touch with us. So we wanted to replicate that on the app. And the great thing about the app is that we can offer businesses sort of digital enhancements that perhaps they currently don't have access to. So
the smaller businesses then, they don't have that kind of technology behind them.
So we can sort of be the bridge really. So we can push notifications to people. So if a local business has an offer on or a sale, we can push that out to those people that have downloaded the app. They can have things like digital loyalty programs built into the app. So if you were a local coffee shop, you can have a little digital loyalty program running within the app. It provides the possibility for businesses to have a lot sort of more enhanced listings, so they can have information and pictures on there about what they do, and even video. That's something that we're excited about as well. So hopefully it will connect more and more people. And on the app, we're going to have dedicated areas for students, dedicated areas for visitors to the city, dedicated areas for perhaps sort of shopping areas, so Albert Road or Fratton Road, so we create little micro communities where people again can find out as much information as possible about what's happening.
And that can be the problem. You've hit the nail on the head. I think is that there is so much good information out there,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
have to find it, don't you?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that can be a real struggle to do that. So hopefully, what your app will do is bring that together and a one-stop shop kind of thing.
Yeah,
Now, it's not
absolutely.
just you, Peter, is it? You're not doing this all on your own. It's pretty much a
No.
family business, isn't it? That are running this.
It is, yeah. It's been great, and that's been a really nice thing that sort of evolved from this. My daughter especially is very involved. Hope graduated last year, and she's looking. Well, she is a journalist, but she's looking to sort of break into that field. She's especially interested in sort of popular culture and especially music. So she was editor of the Oxford University music section of their newspaper, and she's writing a lot of our original content at the moment. She's done a really beautiful series of stories called Tales from the City, where she's been interviewing inspirational people from across Portsmouth, from Steffert shaping Portsmouth to the people that run the sort of the plastic-free package larder on Elm Grove.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So really sort of sitting down with people who are making a difference, who are doing things that perhaps go unnoticed. So it's giving them a voice and letting people know what they do. So she's been a great asset, and she's running things like Instagram. I really don't know anything about Instagram. I'm okay with Facebook and Twitter, but Instagram is I'm still getting to grips with that. So she's running the social media side of things. She's doing a lot of the creative output that we do. My wife helps out as well. She works full time, but she also helps out. And my son's been great because he's been delivering our Island City Living mugs to our prize winners.
Oh, nice.
So he's been getting on his bike and delivering those around the city. So,
That's brilliant.
yeah.
So
we're all involved in. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, go on. Sorry. What I was going to say was, if people want to find out about the app, listeners and the general public, what's going to happen from now? How do they get the app? How are they going to find out about it?
We'll be starting from this Saturday to push information out through our social media.
That's Saturday the 13th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of March.
So that will be the first phase of sort of raising awareness. So as I say, we've got over 30,000 people that follow us, so that will hopefully attract a lot of attention. So we'll be starting to tell people about it and what it does and what it is and how it will help them. We'll be doing similar across the About My Area website. We're also going to be appearing on some local podcasts. So this being the first. And we should be on Express FM next week with Darren Gamblin. So we're sort of letting people know through that, and then from the 27th of March, people will be able to download the app free of charge, either iOS or Android. And from the 29th, we're going to be running a sort of poster campaign across the city. So we'll have posters in lots of the council's poster locations. We're going to have sort of flyers going around to local businesses. We'll be getting out and about and hopefully meeting people as things open up again. And we're just in the middle of producing a video that's going to be played on the big screen in Guildhall Square. So hopefully by the end of sort of April, lots of people will know about it, and lots of people will have downloaded it. So, and again, thank you for this opportunity to sort of spread the word, as it were.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And businesses as well. You talked about how businesses can put their information on there. How do they do that? How can they contact you and get involved?
They can contact us through About My Area. We already have over 800 businesses listed on our business directory. So they can contact us through that. Our email address is portsmouth@aboutmyarea.co.uk. They can also visit the Island City Living website, which has a specific page dedicated to our promotional packages and how businesses can get listings on the app. And what we're trying to do is make it as affordable as possible. We realise that it's been a very challenging time for businesses. So our sort of basic listing starts off with the equivalent, it's like £5 a month for a year. And even the top end, it works out about £50 a month for a year. So what businesses might normally pay for a one-off ad in sort of traditional print media, they can get a whole year's coverage across our website, across our app, across our social media, in our digital weekly newsletter that goes out. So it's really good value for money. We realise that it now is a difficult time to ask businesses to sort of spend on promoting. But what we're hoping is that with the sort of wave of optimism and things opening up, people will want to reconnect with their customers and their audience. So if we can help with that at all, that's what we hope to do, and make it as affordable as possible to as many companies as possible. To have a listing on the About My Area website is free of charge, so you can have a standard listing on there for absolutely nothing. But for the app, there is a small charge for that.
Yeah. That's great. So what are your hopes for the app in the future? If you think about you're going to be launching it at the end of March, where do you see the app in like a year's time? Where would you see that progress to?
Well, what we really hope first and foremost is as many sort of local people download and start using that as possible. And we want to work closely with the big organisations across the city, so the council, Shaping Portsmouth, the university, to make sure that we can get relevant content on there that people will find of use. So as many local people as possible. We really want to sort of bring the student population into that digital community as well. The student population, as you know, has grown significantly over recent years, and we want to create a space for them so they can find out what local businesses have offers on, where the best restaurants to go to are, what's happening culturally around the city. And then I think that our big hope is that it becomes something that visitors to the city will start to download. We get over 9 million people visiting Portsmouth every year. We're an international port, so we have a lot of sort of tourist visitor traffic, and that would be our real sort of aim is to get people who come into the city to think to download the app and like, well, on here now I can find out where to go, the best places to go and visit, the local tourist attractions, places to go out and eat, places to go out and drink, places to go and do shopping. So again, signposting all of those people coming into the city to our local businesses and places of interest, and really connect them as much as we possibly can. So it'd be nice if all of those 9 million visitors downloaded our app.
Yes, that would be good. How do you do that? How do you get that out to them, though? That's a question, isn't it? So if you don't know it's there, then you're not going to download it. So how would you push it to these people? Do you know?
Well, again, I think that's through promoting. And we've got a couple of slots booked, poster slots. So as you come into the city, there are some fairly visible poster slots that we can utilise. But again, I think what we hope is that we can develop relationships with local organisations who will help promote that as well, because we see this as a good thing for the city. It's a good thing for the residents, it's a good thing for businesses. It's hopefully getting support from as many people as possible. That will be our aim. But first and foremost, it's for the local residents. So that would be our first sort of milestone, really, is to get as many local people using it as possible.
Yeah, you've kind of got three sections, three areas, if you like, that you're going to be targeting. You've got students, then you've got the public, and then you've got businesses, and then actually fourth, because then you've got the visitors.
Yeah, tourism.
So, I mean, hopefully, the council getting on board with that, they help you with the visitors, the tourism part, and then. Like you say, it's at a point where everybody's got that app, and
word of mouth
is a
wonderful
opportunity. It's great.
We hope people enjoy using it and that it's of use to people, and hopefully then they'll recommend it to other people. We can't necessarily rely on other big organisations promoting it. That would certainly be our wish and our desire. But yeah, I think the more people that use it, the better, really.
And I'm sure your background in education, Peter, will help you on that, because that is where you come from originally before you got involved in this, isn't it? You were you were a headmaster, or do they call them headmasters anymore? What do they call them now?
They probably call them lots of things, actually. But,
we can't mention. We can't say those words.
I was a headmaster for 17 years. Most recently at Portsmouth Grammar Junior School, where I spent just over 9 years. And yeah, I was in education for 30 years and still am. I do a lot of coaching and consultancy within the education sector. Yeah. So I work with local heads within Portsmouth and heads across the country. And I think, now more than ever, they need that coaching and support. They've had quite a challenge over the last 12 months. I think
all back at school now, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, and all the heads I've spoken to have been really excited about the children coming back. Schools are people, places, and not to have those people there must have been very tough. I think I came out at just the right time, because I came out in 2019. Yes, I obviously had a premonition that things were going to, because they've had it so tough, and had to deal with massive changes on a weekly basis, and how they've responded and kept positive has been amazing. I'm working with a group of 5 fairly new to role heads in Portsmouth, and their resilience and their good humour and their positivity is really impressive. And it's a challenging job being a head teacher anyway, but during the pandemic it's been doubly difficult.
And hats off to all of them, because they've done an amazing job.
They have.
What I was going to ask you, Peter, was I did talk to you about there's an app in Sheffield, and I know the 2 gentlemen that have set that up, but how they set it up. I mean, Sheffield, I do class it as a slightly bigger city than Portsmouth, just on the scale of it. But they set it up into almost like a quarter. Where they've got, one section of the city is called This is Kelham, another section of the city is called This is Ecclesall. Do you think that this app, how it is set up, that, you're going to be able to just cover it as one just huge area, or do you think you might have to break it up a little bit?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's something that we've thought a lot about, and what we'd like to do on the app and on the website is create almost like micro communities. So we make it really hyper local, so we can create, especially around the different sort of shopping areas that we have around the city. So we are talking to different traders associations at the moment about the possibility of doing that. We hope it comes to fruition. So within the app, within the website, we will create those little communities. So if you were coming into Portsmouth and you thought, well, I'm going to spend the day sort of along Albert Road, you could tap into that particular part of the website or the app and find out what shops there are, what offers are on, where to go, what to see, and create sort of micro communities in terms of news articles going on about those particular areas, photo galleries, etc. So create little communities within the main frame, I suppose. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that'd be good, because I mean, just looking at Southsea itself is just one area of Portsmouth.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of stick sometimes of people saying, well, why doesn't it say Portsmouth folk and not Southsea folk? And I think because I live in Southsea, it's just so much to cover in Southsea, as well as, I mean, I always step over, we always talk about Portsmouth as well. It's not just Southsea, but there had to be a definition somewhere where, because there is just so much to talk about, isn't there?
There is, and what we wanted to do was make this Portsmouth wide. We did even consider the name Island City Living, because I know there's a sort of feeling that if you're not on the island, then you're not part of the island. But we felt there were enough barriers there for people to get upset about, and islands, we are an island city, and we should be proud of that. You know, we're the only island city in the UK, and we should be rightly proud of that. And it's unique, and it's something we should shout about. And we've made it very clear that we cover from Cosham to Southsea and all points in between. And one thing that we're really conscious of is that especially the north of the city perhaps doesn't get as much coverage and as much exposure as the south and Southsea. So we really want to make sure that we promote places like Cosham and Port Solent, which have lots to offer. If we can create those little micro communities again within the main website and app, I think that will really help to make sure that we don't miss anyone out, because there's so much good stuff going on across the city.
So before we change gears a little bit, Peter, just remind people where they can go to find out about your project and your app.
So from Saturday, through our social media platforms, we'll be pushing information out. There will also be information on the About My Area website, and there'll be information on our Island City Living website.
Fantastic. So we're gonna slightly change a bit and learn a little bit more about you. Nothing too scary, Peter, so don't worry. It's all above board and
good.
Not too much into your background. So are you a Kindle or are you a book person?
Definitely book. I do read a lot, and I've tried Kindle, but I just can't. I much prefer to sit down with a physical book, and I never throw any books away. So I've got shelves full of books, and kept all the children's books as well. I love reading. I think being in education, I also developed a love for sort of reading out loud as well and reading stories. So that's something I've very much enjoyed with my own children as well.
Maybe you should do an audio book, Peter.
Yeah,
how about that, then,
it was funny. I was talking to my wife about that the other day, because I love Goodnight, Mr. Tom, which is a great children's book written by a local author, Michelle McGorrian, and I've read that so many times in school, and my wife said you should do it as an audio book, because I miss doing that. It's such a great story, and I love doing the accents and the voices as well. So
nice.
No, I love reading, but definitely physical books for me.
It's a feel and a smell, I think. I mean, I use a Kindle. Other audio platforms are available, by the way. It's not just Kindle. I use a Kindle mainly for traveling, because you can get so much on there. But you can have 10, 20 books, which you can't carry around. But when it comes to the feel, the touch, the turning of the page, I think that part of it is good. So on that point, then, so you are now a prize-winning author. What would you write about?
My favourite genre is sort of noir detective stories. I think if I could, I'd like to. I did try writing one once, and I think I got to the end of the first page, and then thought this is going to take far too much time, and at the time I was a head teacher, so I didn't have the time to do it. But I think that would be my genre. People like Ken Brew and sorry.
Scandi noir, that kind of thing. Is that what you mean?
I have read some Scandi noir. I'm reading some sort of Scottish noir at the moment. Newish author Alan Park, set in sort of 70s Glasgow, which is really good. I like that kind of sort of underbelly of society, and police and detectives who work in that kind of world.
So you sound like such a busy man, Peter. You've been a headmaster, which is a really sort of, a very important job. And then you've gone into this, and it sounds like you've just not stopped running, trying to organise this app and connecting About My Area and all of that. So what do you do? What is your hobby in your spare time? What do you like to do when you switch off from all of this?
I like to. Well, I suppose the thing that I do every day is take my dog for a walk. That's always nice. And we live in Southsea, so the walks that we go on are just stunning. Every day is different down.
We're so lucky, aren't we?
Yeah.
So lucky.
It was down there this morning. It was blowing a gale and the waves were crashing in, and it was just amazing. So I do that. I've got a couple of guitars sat over there, which I play very badly, but that's a nice sort of stress reliever.
If only I'd known, I'd have got you to do something to play a little.
No. I would never play in public. I wouldn't inflict that on anyone. I'll leave that to professionals like Lou's son, who's obviously better than I am at doing things like that. But it's just a nice sort of stress reliever. And reading, I love sport, and just spending time with the family, really. So
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Peter. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to the app coming out there and learning more about what you're doing. And I think we're lucky people to have this place that we live in, Southsea, as their base. It's amazing. So best of luck.
Best of luck.
Thanks very much, John. Thanks, Lou.
Yeah, and you've got 2 new fans. We will be the first downloading the app. We'll be
thank
there
you so much.
You, Peter.
Brilliant. Excellent.
And hopefully we'll get to work together and support each other again, because we love what you do, and we're so grateful that you supported us with the podcast and put that on your directory. That's a really lovely thing. It's
been good to sort of find out all the different podcasts that are happening across the city, and again bring those into one place. So people can find a list on the website of local podcasts.
And maybe we'll bump into each other, and when it's a bit more, we're able to meet.
Yes.
When you're walking your dog. So thanks again, Peter. It's a pleasure. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can't wait to see you. Take care.